Hey everyone, my name is Logan and this is Title House. I am a visual artist based in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and today I'm going to give you the cheat codes for the Sigma FP. It's 2026 and I am making this with the assumption that you are already familiar with this camera, its specs and general capabilities. You are here because you are looking for a consistent and reliable workflow. You've come to the right place. Whether you are new to the FP or a veteran, there is something in here for you. Now, I don't do this talking head thing very much and there's a lot of information to cover, so I will be referencing my notes. All of the footage in this video was shot with one of my Sigma FPs, including this talking head video, which is shot in ProRes RAW 4K at ISO 800. Before we move on, a big FYI, if you're going to shoot and edit RAW video, you are going to need a really good computer. Let's get started. ISO is everything. ISO on this camera is directly related to dynamic range. This camera has dual base ISO or 2 ISO channels. Now, people get confused about what it's called. Just remember your exposure triangle with ISO being the most important. Our 2 ISO channels are 100 to 800 and 3200 to 5000. These are the optimal ISO ranges for the Sigma FP, so try and stay in these ranges. Just remember, if you're getting noisy footage really at any ISO, you're probably not giving your camera enough light. Embrace the noise. ISO 100 to 320 is very clean. I find myself using these values a lot if I'm using a fast lens and shooting indoors. There's a noticeable jump in noise from 320 to 400. Now 400 to 800 retain better highlight detail, but at the cost of more noise. 800 has the most balanced dynamic range. I find myself using 800 quite a bit in all scenarios, indoor and outdoor. The short film that I was working on last fall, almost the entire film was shot at 3200 ISO, both indoor and outdoor. Something to remember if you're shooting a window or a sunset and you're wanting to retain all of those creamy highlights, it's best to shoot at a higher ISO and ND down. Now, there's a lot going on here with the rig. I've spent a lot of time over the past few years dialing this in. If you would like to see a dedicated video about the rig, please drop a comment. But today I'm talking about one thing and one thing only, and that is the Atomos Ninja. Now, we all know this thing rocks. If you're not familiar with it, Google it. There's tons of content about it. This is a non-negotiable for the Sigma FP. This really does unlock the full potential of this camera. How does it do that? LUTs. If you aren't using LUTs on set, you are at a severe disadvantage. I want to give a quick shout out to filmmaker Ole Berek. I believe I'm saying his name right. Go watch his Sigma FP masterclass here on YouTube. I will link it below, and download his LUTs. He's put out a ton of great content about this camera. These are ISO specific monitoring LUTs. One LUT for each of the best ISO values on the Sigma FP. You choose your ISO value and then you choose the corresponding LUT on the Ninja. These LUTs are great because they give you an accurate false color readout of your exposure. Now, caveat, my workflow for the Sigma FP has evolved as I take it on more projects. And since the last firmware update for the Ninja, we haven't seen any update to the LUTs that I just mentioned. The monitoring tool that I currently trust the most is PQ. Now, it's very simple. Just keep your exposure on the waveform between the values of 0 and 100. Don't clip your highlights, don't crush your blacks, and you should be getting footage with low noise and good dynamic range. There it is. I've just given you the cheat codes for exposure on the Sigma FP. I have a lot more information to discuss about the workflow of this camera, such as stabilization, processing ProRes RAW footage, and color grading in Final Cut Pro. If you would like to see more Sigma FP content, please like and drop a comment, and I'll see you next time.